timing is so important, because you can do the same exact thing in one time frame and get a completely different result. How is everyone? It's been a long time since I shared a Mel's moment, and I had a thought that just came through while I was walking with little Pishju here, and I haven't even prepared for this because I haven't even got my mic, but I think it's going to really help you, especially when it comes to living the life that we really love, enjoying the challenges that come up in our personal lives and in our path to our dream goals, whatever that is. And also when it comes to the Binge to Billions journey. So before I share what I just downloaded or came through for me, I'm just gonna do a quick circle around just to show you where I am. This is my neighborhood, so as you can tell, and this is my attire, my proper wellies in my fur jacket. It really doesn't go, but hey ho. Yeah, I think something that I've come to realize, actually, especially the last year, is that timing is everything. What I've realized, especially over the last year, how timing is everything. How I think often we underestimate timing, and especially if you are in this entrepreneurship journey, if you are an aspiring woman trying to build your dream life, I think timing is something that we often fight against, especially when we want something so badly. Like in recovery, we want to recover quickly, we want to have what we want quickly, but we dismiss timing quite often. And the funny thing is that timing in many things is something that we appreciate, like when we're cooking, when we bake a cake, we are patient, we appreciate the timing, and we wait until the time is right for the cake to be baked. We don't rush it, we don't get stressed, we just know that a cake gets baked in a certain time. And this comes to also sex. You know, there's a timing when it comes to having the climax. We often want it to last as long as possible, not too long, but we don't mind the timing of when we have the climax, the build up to it. And the timing is everything, because if it's too quick, we're not happy about that, are we? And there's a timing when we do everyday things like going out for a walk with our dogs. If you're anything like me, I time it really well so that I'm not outside getting absolutely saturated. I wait until the sun comes out, and I then decide to take my dog out for a walk. And there's also timing in when we feel the moment. It's like I was going to wait until I went inside to get my microphone to share what's coming through right now. But I know if I don't time this well, by the time I get my microphone, the feeling, the the feeling of wanting to share something live would have passed, and the chances of me not doing this live video would have passed. So this timing, even though it's not convenient for me, even though I haven't got my microphone, this is the timing that feels good to me to share what's on my mind. And I found the more that I realize timing plays such a key to manifesting our best lives, to creating the best love life, the best relationships, the best businesses, the best purpose, but to fulfill our purpose, to follow the path to our purpose, to having the path one step at a time, showing us where to go, to become the parent that we aspire to have the bodies that we desire, to eat what we want, to have that freedom. When I started noticing timing, I realized that it changed everything for me, every aspect of my life. For example, when we were picking my daughter up, we'd have an argument the night before. I learnt that it's not the ideal situation to try and teach her why we were giving her, like not a punishment, but telling her off at a time. And I know when she was angry, that's not the best time to explain to her why we're doing what we're doing, because in that moment in time she's angry. So I got that. I realized that wasn't the best time to teach her a lesson. So I learned to allow her to calm down before talking to her, but sometimes that was not possible because she was about to go to bed, and all I can do right then is to remind her that we love her, and just leave it, and hopefully find the right time to talk about it with her when she's in a neutral emotional state. And because we had an argument the night before when we picked her up from school, I thought that was the right time to bring up why we had an argument the night before and explain to her in the best way possible. The reason why I want to talk to her is because I want to avoid us having that same huge argument again. So when I tried to talk to her, thinking she would be cool because it was the next day, she just finished school and she sounded okay, we ended up arguing again. And I realized afterwards that was not the right time. Even though it was after the event, even though I thought that she was kind of in this neutral emotional state, I realized it was not the right time. I realized that straight after school, she's still highly stimulated from the day. She's a little bit tired. She's in that phase where she's decompressing from the day. And the last thing she wanted was to talk about why we had an argument the night before. So that was not the best time. And the funny thing is that this is something I would not have thought about before, timing. And because I didn't think about it, I would have forced her to listen to what I had to say, to listen to why we're doing the things that we do, and this is what she should learn from it. And we should, even though it was from the best of my intentions, that we both learn from it. And I probably would have like many mums right now going through the teenage stage and thinking, oh my God, teenage years are the worst. Oh my God, what is happening here? You know, that teenager, I can't remember the sitcom now with Harry Enfield where he turns into a teenager. That is what we're going through with my daughter, and it could have been, or it can be, like that nightmare where every parent says that teenage years are the worst. It could be like that. But because of this thing called timing, I realized it was just timing. So anyway, I tested again. Because the thing is about timing as well, there's no set timing. It's something that we learn to play with and find the right time. So, and then it's something that we get better at doing. So I tried again, and this time I tried it just as when we were having laughs at dinner time. And we started talking about what happened. And she said, yep, I understand. And it turned out into the best conversation that we've had in a long time. She realized that this is not just for her. This is a lesson for me as well, for all of us. And we came away from it learning the lessons that we needed so that we wouldn't have to experience that awful argument again. Having said that, I know full well that we're going to have plenty more arguments in the future, but at least we're not just leaving things and not learning from them. It's about tweaking things as we are living life. Timing is so important because you can do the same exact thing in one time frame and get a completely different result. Two of those times when I tried to explain to my daughter why we had the argument and why it's important for us to look to see what the lessons were inside so we can prevent them. Two of those moments, me saying exactly the same thing, just backfired in my face. But when I chose the right timing, it was magical. We had the best laughs. We start looking at timing a little bit differently now and start thinking timing is actually one of the gifts that we have towards building the best life in whatever aspect of life. You'll start experiencing life easier. You will be stronger despite the challenges and fears when you look at timing a bit differently. Because what I find is when we don't know about timing, we tend to think there's something that we've done wrong. It might be that you've chosen the wrong time to do what you needed to do. It's like when I was trying to build a business so fast, like my dreams were bigger than the my ego at that point. I thought I could do what I aspired to do, which is nothing wrong with that. But what I didn't realize is that the more visibility that I got in this social media, the more chances that I may not be everyone's taste and I might annoy a lot of people. So when I tried to do what I needed to do, my timing at that point attracted some really, really nasty people that were so mean to me on social media. But the timing, you know, that wasn't because I was doing something wrong, that I didn't, you know, get the results that I wanted. In actual fact, it's because I needed to do something first before I got to, you know, I got to the next level. I needed to build, I needed to learn, I needed to be stronger when it comes to my presence and visibility online. So instead of me thinking, oh gosh, I'm a bad person, that I should be liked by everyone and I should shrink myself and should look more professional, should talk a certain way, should be more polished, or I shouldn't talk about the subject that I'm talking about. I realized it was timing. I needed to learn how to embody myself unapologetically. And then the timing of when I get my perfectly aligned clients come along. That's when Binge to Billions was birthed. Not before I got strong enough to be able to become the woman that it takes to lead this legacy. Not before I had all the prerequisite lessons that I had to learn. And when it comes to binge eating, it's not enough just to stop binge eating, because if we're not careful, we end up binging on other things. Binging on Netflix, binging on perfectionism, binging on people pleasing, binging on working to exhaustion, binging on scrolling. However, when we realize timing is the essence, that there is a path being built in front of us, that most of the time we know this, like I said at the beginning of the video, we appreciate timing when it comes to many things, like going out for a walk, like cooking a cake, like having the best climax. But then we dismiss it when it comes to our dreams, our recovery, the Binge to Billions journey. So I wanted to share that little insight that came through, and I hope you lot are all well, and thank you again for following me on this journey. I hope something in this live video has started the cogs working in your beautiful, amazing, greater intelligence. And let me know if any of this resonated with you. And I will catch you on my next Nice Moments. Have a wonderful week. Take care.